it's Haley, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 books that I think would make great movies. Now, I've mentioned in videos before that I'm really not a huge movie person. I don't really like going to the theater and watching movies because I would much rather be watching a movie and doing other things while I'm watching the movie, because I like to multitask a lot. So I really have trouble just sitting there and paying attention to a movie. But I do really like some book to movie adaptations, and I think that there are some that could be really great if they were well done. Now, that being said, just because I really loved a book doesn't mean that I think it would make the best movie. There are some books that really wouldn't translate that well into film, and there are some that really would do great in film and do maybe even better than the book, such as Me Before You. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I think that it would do much better as a film than it does as a book, because I think the characters just portray the emotion more than the book did, just for me. But that being said, I'm just going to get into the video because it's easier. Also, I'm not going to be mentioning books that are already becoming movies or becoming TV shows. Throne of Glass is becoming a TV show, or there's talks of it. They haven't started casting or anything yet, but that's happening, and The Darkest Minds is already becoming a movie, so I think that will be great, and that would be on this list, but it's already happening. So first up is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola. This came out recently, and I just think that it would make a fantastic movie because the topic is really relevant, and I think that just the idea of a romance in one day, and there's another book that's on here that is similar to that, and kind of waiting for this payoff is very much like a movie, and I think that it would just translate so well into film. And really, when I was reading it, I could picture it so vividly that it almost was like a movie, so I think this one would do really well. Next up is The Selection by Kiera. I know there have been talks of this one becoming a TV show, but that has been in talks for a while, and I don't know if it's actually going to end up happening, but I honestly don't think that this would do as well as in a TV show as it would in a movie, because my one problem with this trilogy is that it drags. Like, it could all be in just one bigger book, or even like a smaller book. There were things that happened that weren't really necessary and didn't add to the plot. So I think having the whole thing in a movie would be a super entertaining movie, and changes could be made that would make it even better than the books. And I love these books. They're like my guilty pleasure books, and I think if they played up the romance and really made that the main topic of it and kind of got rid of the whole dystopian thing and set that to the side, it would be a really great feel-good movie. Next up is Just One Day by Gayle Forman. This one is kind of similar to The Sun Is Also a Star, just because it's like a romance and there's a time limit on it, but I really think that this one would make a great film. I think especially this one and the next one. It's a duology, and I think if it was just told, like, not from dual perspective, but like just in an omniscient narration style, or even without a narrator, it would be really great, and it would just do so well. It's all about traveling the world, and they're trying to kind of find each other, and I think that that would do so well as a film, and you would be able to travel the world, so it would be awesome. Next up is Amy and Roger's Epic Tea Tour by Matson. This is kind of another similar idea, but I think this would just be like a feel-good road trip story, and road trip films, they are really cool if you do them right, and I think that this road trip would be great because it's an exciting road trip, and they do take little detours that make it exciting, so it wouldn't be boring because it wouldn't just be them on the road, which can get really boring. It would be them like traveling and seeing all these different things, and I think since there is like already in here there are these little pictures and there's little notes and stuff in here, I just think that in film it would do really well, and I would definitely watch it. Next up is Legend by Matson. This one I think would do well if it was kind of like the Hunger Games, just because it is similar to the Hunger Games in the fact that it's a dystopian, but it is kind of the meeting of two different worlds, and it's a poor person, it's someone who is like the most wanted criminal who is meeting with the like top officer for this regime, and it's their worlds colliding, and there's a whole murder mystery going on, and it's kind of fighting the power, but in a way that is like the Hunger Games but very different at the same time. So I think this one would definitely do well as a film for fans of the Hunger Games or Divergent. Hopefully they wouldn't go crazy with special effects like they did, but hopefully they wouldn't go crazy with the CGI like they did in Divergent, which kind of ruined it for me. Next up is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. This one is a historical fiction, so I kind of thought about this one for a while, but I think it once again would do really well as a film and be really impactful, and one of those films that like makes you really think and really just pulls on your heartstrings. And I just think that the story of these characters is so tragic, and you see their different perspectives and their worlds colliding, and I think that it could do like really well in a movie. It would just translate very well, and the ending would it would just come together so nicely. And I just think that this one would be a fantastic movie, to be honest. Like, the more I think about it, the more I love the idea of it. Next up is Looking for Alaska by John Green. I know that there have been talks about this becoming a movie, but they talk about it and then they stop talking about it and then it's put on hold and whatever, and I honestly don't think it's going to happen. But that being said, I still would like to see it happen. I think that John Green's books really make nice indie films, so you kind of have to be patient with them and not rush it and just kind of think about it. So it makes a really nice indie film, and I think that Looking for Alaska would make a great one as well if it were filmed in a similar style to Paper Towns. I think it could do really well, and I just think that it could come to life and be this amazing story and something that kids could really relate to and makes you think. Next up is Mageau by Maria Davana Headley, and this one I think would make a great Tim Burton film, and it would just be completely out there and weird, and I just think that it could be filmed in a style similar to Coraline, or I don't even know, but I just think that the whole world is so weird, but it could come to life and be really, really cool if it were a movie. Next up is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I just think that this world and these characters are so great, and in a character-driven story, I think it would do really well in film, because people would just fall in love with these 6 characters who are on this crazy heist, and I think that it would do well if the Crooked Kingdom were also in the same movie, if it was just one movie. I haven't read Crooked Kingdom yet, so I'm just kind of speaking objectively on that, but I just think that it would be such a great movie. I would love to see the world come to life, and I would love to see the characters come to life as well, and I just think people would really like it. And finally on this list is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I just think that this book, it's already very visual. It's already very multimedia, different formats that the story is told in, and I think that it would make a great sci-fi film that I would really like. I tend to like sci-fi more when it's a movie or a TV show. I love Doctor Who, but I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi books, but I think that this one would make a really, really good movie. Same with Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner's other book, These Broken Stars. I think that that one would make a really cool movie as well. It would be kind of like the sci-fi mystery whole thing. I think that would be really cool. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm not a huge movie fan, so I don't really know that much about terminology or anything like that about movies, but I'm just kind of going off of what I picture and what I think would make a really good movie and kind of just my imagination. So yeah, let me know what you think, what books you think should become movies, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!